So last night, as I was walking to my friend's house, I parked my car like 4 blocks from his house. Halfway through, I hear a screaming of a cat. And I could tell that this was like a cat in distress. And I was like, oh no, like. So I find the cat, it's in a carrier in the trash. Someone left a cat, an adult cat, fat cat, a chunkier adult cat in the trash. I have no words for people. That's nothing new. But my eyes almost didn't even believe it. It's not the first time I've found a cat in a crate on the street. Not the first animal that I've found in an enclosure on the street. Like, this is maybe the 7th or 8th animal that like we've had to take in temporarily because they just get dumped. This time wasn't even my own neighborhood. That was what was different. I wasn't even in my own neighborhood. So of course I have to take this cat. I just sent them the animal control place in Philadelphia. I just sent them an email asking about setting up an appointment to foster another dog. And then I find this cat, and I was just like, there's no way I can do this with this. Like, I'm trying to be a good person. I'm not trying to be any better than what I'm trying to be. Like, I can't take the fucking cat. So it was very hard to get her back into the crate after spending a night into my house. My friend had to come over and literally, we had to use the broom. I'll put it that way. We had to use a broom, and it was rough. But the cat is safe. It's at the shelter. And there are already people interested in adopting her. So, fun fact, the cat was born at the shelter. So like when they read the chip, they could pull up a picture of the cat as like a kitten, born in 2001. She's 4 years old. The most precious little baby that someone decided should live on the street now. So whatever, enough about them. I fostered for the first time last week a dog for 2 weeks, and it was such an experience, a great experience. Like, don't get me wrong, I love doing it so much so that I'm going tomorrow to get another dog. Like, I loved it, but it was a lot. There's a lot of unexpected emotions, situations. So I thought it might be fun to talk about my first time fostering, what I loved about it, what was crazy about it, what was so scary about it. The number one reason why I decided to foster was just because I was bored. Like, I was bored and I was feeling guilty about being bored. But I can't adopt a dog. I'm in no position to adopt a dog. That's cool. Foster a dog. My plan was to market the dog on Instagram, but because this dog had already been accounted for, I was just temporarily housing them. Like, I wasn't gonna post about them on Instagram, but I'm in the process of trying to repurpose my Instagram. I don't want my Instagram to be about me anymore. I mean, Instagram forces me into like an existential crisis every other week. So it's like, will I forever be doing this on Instagram? I don't know. But for now, I want to just use it to find homes for dogs. TikTok, just use it to find homes for dogs. Because like I miss being on the apps. I love the apps. But when the apps are about me, it makes me go nuts. So it's like I want to find a way to use social media while also maintaining my sanity. Part of the reason why I thought that it would be a good idea to repurpose my Instagram is because I am a photographer, and one thing that I can give, other than a home, one thing that I can give to these dogs are pictures and portraits, and like doing the best that I can to highlight all the amazing, adorable, funny, quirky, silly things about them. It's just something different, something fun, using my skills and my talents and my resources for something better than what I was doing before. The hardest thing about fostering was definitely the goodbye. Like, I only had this dog for 2 weeks, which my initial thought was 2 weeks is the perfect amount of time. No way I can get attached to a dog. No way in 2 weeks' time can I feel like this dog is mine. It only took 2 weeks for me to feel like the dog was mine. You spend so much time getting them to just trust you. The first few days that he was here, he was just like trying to figure us out. I was trying to figure him out, and he had no clue what to think. So a lot of the time that we spent together in the first few days was just teaching him how to trust me and becoming a leader. I'm not always a leader, but with the dog, you have to be a leader. So you do all that work, you build their trust, and then you're dropping them back off at the shelter. But I've had to like accept that animals don't think the way that we do. They don't consider abandonment in the way that we, like, he's not taking it personal that like this person, me, who he learned to trust, is abandoning him at the shelter. Like, he doesn't process it that way. He's just like, wow, like that was better and this is not as cool, but also I'm just here right now. Like, they just live very in the moment, whereas I'm like constantly reflecting on like, is he okay? Does he wish he was back in my bedroom? Like, did he prefer the food that I fed him? Like, dogs just they don't even think like that. So I have to retrain my brain to not get super sentimental about his time here, because ultimately I know that he does not feel sentimental about the time here. I really tried to do everything that I could to make his time here worth the goodbye that I knew halfway through. I was like, no, this is gonna be hard. He felt like my friend. He felt like my family. It's so crazy. Very weird experience. So yeah, the hardest thing about fostering is definitely the goodbye, because you think it's not gonna be so bad because you're happy for the dog. You're happy that they get to move on to another place where they have a better chance of being adopted. But you're also like terrified for them. You're terrified that they're gonna, not get adopted once they leave. You're terrified that when they do get adopted, they're going to be maybe brought back to the shelter, because you know that they have some qualities that maybe in the first few days that someone adopts a dog, they probably like don't want their dog to be showing. But I know that like, wait 2 weeks and you're going to love him. So like, it's just like the fear of the unknown, fear that he's not going to be given a fair chance, when I know that he deserves a fair chance. Like, he deserves the fairest of chances ever. Like, he's like a perfect dog. I will be doing a few things differently the next time I get a dog, because the last time, it was the first time. So I brought the dog in here. I had nothing set up. I had nothing ready. I had treats and a bed. Like, I had like the basic things, but the space itself was not set up. So that was a whole thing. I'm definitely gonna have the space more set up next time. And I don't think I'm gonna have the dog sleep in my room, because the first time I did let Chamberlain sleep in my room, and I liked him in there, but if I could keep the dog on the first floor and just leave it at that, I'm gonna try to do that. We'll see. The problem is I have a cat, and the cat is inside the house at night, so it like trying to figure that part out, that might be the new hardest part with this dog. I don't know, because with Chamberlain, like, he wasn't here long enough for the dog and the cat, like, they weren't even going to meet, because they need a 2-week minimum time to decompress before they meet any other pets in the house. So they were never going to meet. But this time, I don't know how long this dog's going to be here for, so maybe they could meet. Either way, they're going to have to we got to figure something out with the cat. And I'm going to start training on day 1. I did not start training Chamberlain on our walks until maybe the 3rd or 4th day, but that was already enough time for him to develop his own little routine for things. Like, I needed to have the treats on hand and constantly rewarding for good behavior, calm behavior, no zoomies, no barking at dogs. We had one point where he would like fling his body to get to the dogs. Like, he just got too excited. He was so excited. He was like such a good dog. Like, I say these things, but he was really like, by the end, so good, because I dedicated every single walk to training. Like, now we don't have any just like casual around the block walks. Like, every single time we're going to be working on your good habits. And for me, this is just like getting to like go on hikes with a dog and getting to walk a dog and I get to just experience life with a dog as a dog person who loves experiencing life with dogs. And they get everything. Like, they get a place to sleep that's quiet. They get to heal from being sick in a non-overstimulating environment, like that's not around a bunch of sick dogs. If you've ever thought about fostering a dog or a cat or whatever, there's a lot of different animals you can foster, I would do it. My only advice would be to make sure that you are doing it because you really want to do it. Make sure you're doing it because you like the animal that you're fostering. Some of these animals have so much trauma. Some of them have such bad experiences with other dogs, with other humans, with different rooms of the house. Like, there's so many little things that come up over the course of fostering that you don't have to be prepared for any of it, but you should want to learn about it. Like, you should be interested in fixing these problems, because if not, you're not gonna have fun. Because it was a little bit stressful at times, and then I had to remember, like, oh wait, Tess, like, you're doing this for a reason. Like, you're doing this because you want to learn. You're doing this because you want to do this again someday, whether it's next week or in 5 years. Like, you know that this is something you're interested in, and you know you're gonna own a dog one day. So get the time in, but most of all because the dogs deserve it.